How's it going, everybody? I have to interrupt your regularly scheduled program to bring you this big news flash. The M6A2E1 is available. I am purchasing it this morning. It came out last night at midnight, and you can see here in the shop the information that they put on the right hand side, little tidbits there, and then I'm showing you what comes with the purchase. It costs 11,000 gold, but it comes with some equipment, the garage space, the 100% qualified tank crew, and now what I need to do is just go ahead and arrange the tanks so that you can see the Tier 8 American tank, the new one I just purchased. I also want to show you the T32 and the T29, but before we get there, I can't help myself. I mean, this thing is really cool. I've seen it before when I was doing the super testing, but you know, to have it on live is a different animal. It's in the garage now for keeps. It's just really cool looking. I was a big fan of the T1s, the M6, and that's what the hull is, so it's very cool. And then it has its related version to the T29 turret. On top of that, you have a really nice 105mm gun, so it's really cool. Before we go ahead and play with this thing and see what it can do, it's just a habit. I got to take the crew that it came with, start them on their skill. I don't know why I do that, because I'm not even going to use them. And then I'm going to take out my good friend Mr. Fox here. Fox is my very first American tank crew, and he worked all his way up to Tier 10. So he has about 9 skills with one he's working on. So to really see what this tank can do, I got to put that crew in there so we can really look at the tank and not have it hindered by not having the skills and whatnot. So now that that's done, let's go ahead and go to the next step. Alright, let me go ahead and pull up the 105mm package for the T29, and that way we can take a look at this 105mm gun, T5E1. You'll notice there is a 5.26 rounds per minute, 198 pen, 320 damage, 2.29 aiming time. The accuracy is 0.41, and the view range is 380. So take note of that, and then we'll take a look at the next gun. Alright, now in the past I've sold my T32 and I have yet to purchase it back, so in order to take a look at that module, I'm going to go through the tank tab and look at that 105 module itself for the T32. Pulling that up, it is the same name, you know, 105mm gun, T5E1. The rate of fire is 5.66. You got the same pen, the same damage, same aim time, and the same accuracy, the 2.29 and the 0.40. There is an increase of 20 meters for the view range, so that's now 400. The last gun to compare, of course, is the one for the M6A2E1. And if you look at this module, the gun name is very similar, except for it ends in the letter E. And the rate of fire now is 5.05. Same penetration, same damage. You'll notice the aim time has decreased by 0.01 and the accuracy has worsened by 0.01. And the view range is the same as the T29, which is 380 meters. All right, well, so let's go ahead and sum that up. What do all those numbers mean? In English, basically you have a rate of fire that is the slowest between the three of them. You're looking at approximately 11.89 seconds for a reload time without any added bonuses for skills or equipment. You know, as far as accuracy is concerned, nothing to brag about, but then again, it's the same as its peers, or you know, close enough for this conversation. And then aim time, it's an average, respectable aim time. So definitely not a need for a GLD. Furthermore, I'd like to add that, you know, once you do have the vents added, and you have your gun rammer, and you have your 100% crew, you're shaving off a couple of seconds on the reload time. Alright, now taking a quick look at the armor for the M6A2E1. We talked about it being, related to or taken from the T1 M6 hull. And with that said, the hull on the sides are 44 millimeters and the hull in the rear is 41 millimeters. However, the front has been boosted up to a 191 millimeter, which matches the front of its turret, which is 191 millimeters. The sides are 89 millimeters and the rear is 208 millimeters. I have no idea why the rear of the turret is far more armored than the front, but it is. And as far as the sides are concerned, that is definitely something you're going to want to watch out for. It is easily hit, penetrated, easily able to take damage. You're going to want to face the enemy while using this tank, hull down, and guard your sides. Alright, now the last piece I'd like to take a look at is the equipment setup for this particular tank. When purchased, it came with the vertical stabilizer, the improved ventilation, and the gun rammer. The ventilation and the gun rammer, to me, are kind of an obvious choice. And now the vertical stabilizer, for some, they go with a GLD. Personally, for this tank, having played it, it's definitely something that you're going to want to play peekaboo with. So the vertical stabilizer is perfect for this particular tank. Now, in regards to consumables, I go ahead and go with my standard kit setup of the fire extinguisher, first aid kit, and repair kit. I go with the basic small kits for this. And then the last thing to take care of is the ammunition loadout. This particular tank can carry 60 shells. I prefer to run with, at this point, 50 armor-piercing shells and 10 premium rounds. Now, this particular tank will only see up to tier 9. So having a handful of premium shells will come in handy, but thank goodness you're not going to be facing tier 10. Alright, now the last thing I need to do before I take this out to the battlefield is to make sure it has its beautiful camouflage on. I'm feeling a little old school, so I'm going to put on some of that pre-World War I or during World War I type of camouflage. Getting all my stuff ready there. And then the most important thing I need to do after selecting the urban camouflage here is to select my emblem so that you guys can recognize me out there. And again, if you ever see me out there playing, feel free to say hey, give me a holler. Alright, now that that's in place, let's go ahead and move on. Alright, fellow tankers, the first game in the M6A2E1 takes place on El Hallouf, and it is a standard battle. And when I say it's the first game, it literally is my first game in this tank. I have played it a few times on the test server, but that was maybe 3 games or so. But on the live server, of course, things are a lot different. People are not spamming gold, and this is the finished product. Something to take a look at is the tank's height. I know it's written about, they describe the gun depression and the height and whatnot, but really look at the angle when you aim up. It's incredible. And then of course when you aim down or up, it's I wouldn't say it's 40 to 45 degrees, but it's aiming down is pretty darn good, and aiming up is pretty incredible. And then the size of it next to other tanks, it really dwarfs IS variations, because they're normally short anyway, but this really is pretty tall. You kind of get an idea of the speed that this tank drives forward in. Although it says 29 kilometers per hour on average, it feels faster when you're driving it. Maybe you're getting the same feeling as you are following the tank moving forward. Kind of joke about being so tall that you know, it's kind of an illusion of going fast because the altitude is so high. Now here what I'm doing is, instead of running around the corner here and exposing my hull, I'm doing good old-fashioned side scraping here. And I'm attempting to track this T-29, but as you can see, the shot is eaten by the tracks. And my tracks are absorbing his hit. But finally some damage is really being done. Good example of bouncing. And Tiger P behind me takes the kill, and that's absolutely fine. When I say takes the kill, I'm just stating a fact. Not a big fan of people complaining about stealing kills. I don't know if people truly out there are holding back their fire for the very last moment. I guess they exist, but I don't really worry about that too much. Now look at the height. I'm right up on this T-29 with a little bit of a rock underneath me to give me a little bit of a head, an edge up and over the turret. But the shot went through. You know, went right over the dead T-29's turret. And you can see we have another cousin of this tank here, the T-32. There was a shot that was bounced, and then there was one that actually came through. You can see him attempting to hit the lower glacis. Side scraping again. And going for the machine gun port, but it bounces. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm not working alone. I'm actually, I mean, I don't know, these are non-platoon folks that I'm playing with, but what I mean is I'm being consciously aware of the Tiger P behind me, and I'm trying to plan his shots and my shots so that he takes a shot, then I step in front of him, I take a shot, then I get out of his way, he takes a shot, and so forth, while also, you know, doing the cha-cha with the T-32 so I don't get shot. But the point I'm trying to make is, and I wish more players would do this, is that, not to sound like I'm complaining, but a little common sense is, if you know that your teammate is taking shots on some, you know, red player, you're not going to kind of want to step in front of their gun. You know, they're kind of set up already, so kind of keep that in mind. Alright, now over here, initially I thought the Ferdinand was actually the enemy, and I started hanging in on him, but then I realized it was he was being chased. So my bad on that. Now you can see going downhill, it did pick up some pretty good speed there, and here goes the IS running away, and this is exactly what I mean. I'm lined up, my reticle is getting smaller, I'm getting ready to take a shot, and then you have Johnny, average public guy, that just drives right in front of me, and then I have to reset the whole move, and then it wastes time. So the way I look at it when I'm playing my games, and this is just a me thing, is, you know, sure, it's fun to get the kills, and it's fun to rack up your points and whatnot, but the bottom line is that you're going to do better off with your scores, if you want to look at it from a selfish standpoint, if you work for the betterment of the team, because you will do better score-wise if the team wins and if you survive. So if you can work together with your teammates, it's a better strategy than just trying to be the Lone Ranger on your own, trying to maximize your kills and that sort of thing. Now right there, I was going to cut that out, but I left it in there, and what happened was I forgot. I was so excited with this tank, you know, because like I said, it's my first game, and I immediately went to recording and wanted to play this tank. I forgot to change the settings for the Xbox Live communications, so while I'm filming, I don't like to have messages popping up and friend requests and all that kind of fun stuff. Also, too, I don't like to record the voices of the other players because I don't know what they're going to say, and I'm trying to keep it a family show, and also, too, it's not really a part of the review itself normally. Now, this is a great opportunity. That's beautiful. This is really shows the accuracy of this gun. Doesn't always follow the written stats. This is supposed to be what, a .41, I believe, accuracy, and here you go. You have a nice shot all the way across the valley. But my point is that when you're also playing with randoms, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but just folks you don't know, you get what you get, and there is some player was having some crazy loud annoying sound going on and they weren't taking care of it, so I had to, in the middle of the game, mute them. So you can see here with the score, 126,000 and change is not bad. I know there were some bonuses that helped out with that. You're looking at 6,000 plus on the experience. The raw experience up there is near 1,500, so not bad for a first game. I'm still learning this tank, but it's a lot of fun. Alright, so now we're on steps, and you can see it's a standard battle. Look at the height compared to that Jagdtiger. He towers over it. Good thing, bad thing, not sure. It's all about how you use your tool. Also, look at this, the design or the cosmetics on this particular tank. I may have missed it on others, but one of the things I was noticing is the really cool used look, for lack of better words, on this tank. Yes, it's painted, but it looks like there are some scratches and some wear and tear on the tank that are not battle damage, from the in-game of taking hits, but just kind of being scratched up and whatnot over time. And I thought it looked really cool, and I look forward to seeing what this game looks like on Xbox One, but that's a conversation for another time. Going up that hill, not too bad. I believe this has a tier 10 engine, and the horsepower is pretty immense. I think it's just under 1,000. Alright, and some of the things you might notice I'm doing, like some of the hills or moves that I'm making, is yes, I'm playing the game, but I'm also just kind of seeing what this thing can do. How does it behave in certain situations? Perfect example of hold down. Remember, you are not invincible by any means. I don't care what tank you're driving. So you can be confident in this, but don't be overly confident. The commander's hatch is definitely pinnable. It's nicely small, but it is reachable by the enemy. Nice spot for this tank right here that I accidentally found here in this, on this map. Trax ate that hit twice. So you're looking at 250 meters away. That was me shooting the rock in front of me. That was not good. Here's a tier 9. Nice. I like it when I get lucky. That's a nice tier 7 IS. Taking the hit right in the chest. Would like to track this tier 9. Didn't get the chance. Enemy destroyed. Alright, so now you have this giant commander spot. That was a nice tasty shot there. And I do appreciate him being kind enough to stand so still. However, the RNG gods are not happy with me now, and even though I'm trying to hit it as much as a direct angle with you know, as flat as possible, as 90-degree angle as possible on that spot of that KV4, time and time again I have been bouncing. I've only got 2 shots off that thing. I'm also trying to keep in mind that there is 1 artillery on the enemy team, so I have to keep moving. Now this is my twin, way off in the distance, so it's kind of nice to see what does this thing do against itself. You can see the treads are eating the shots. It's trying to track them. Either it's bouncing like there, or he's just got hit points for days on those treads. And then there you can see the inaccuracy of the gun. It went way over the top of the turret, even though I was good to go on the commander's hatch. Trying to go for the turret ring. Believe, even though I aimed at the turret ring, I believe it went to the lower glacis, so somehow got through. Either way, I'll take it. I'll take a hit. Anytime RNG wants to give it to me, that's fine. Alright, so now that T-30 was tracked, but sadly no one was in position to take advantage of that. He looked like he repair kitted because it was very quick. Now he is a dead T-30. Slow going up the hill, absolutely, but not as bad as some other tanks, some other premiums. I'm really happy with this one. It seems like for a premium, it is really close to its peers. Now this is where I'm salivating, so I'm trying to pedal as fast as I can to get over there so I can get 1 more hit. If I'm lucky, heck, a kill, but just love to get a little bit more damage on somebody. Hello. And he bounces because he moved. How dare this guy try to stay alive? It's so rude. Yay! And the crowd goes wild. Happy days. So like I said, I'm really happy with this tank. It's really fun. You know, just keep in mind you are not invincible. Don't let that Godzilla height fool you, because you can absolutely be damaged. Look at that, 122 plus for money and 45 for experience. Yeah, good times. I mean, even with the multipliers and you're getting some awards and whatnot, absolutely. But even if you're to divide that out, that's, you know, I'm okay with that. It's a pretty good earner. And you got, looks like, what, almost 1,800 for the raw experience. Good game. Alright, now this is, I don't know what was going on yesterday, but I was getting the steps map out of about 13 games, because that's about all I played. I believe I had steps at least 3 times, so it's kind of interesting. So I took this little piece of the battle. I'm not showing you the whole battle, but there was a characteristic that this tank has, which is the height, that was very interesting that I accidentally found out about on this map in this position, as luck would have it. So here you go. I might have actually connected with him had he not moved, and I'm just simply pointing that out, not, you know, hey, look at me, but hey, look at the tank. It says, what, 0.41 accuracy, I believe, and yet, like another game, I pointed out, it has pretty good accuracy. I mean, look at that, dead center, and look at the height of that rock in front of this tank. It's practically the same height. I reverse to get a little bit of elevation, and I was getting some good hits, you know. This next battle is the Murovanka map, and it is a standard battle. Now here I'm torn because I'm new to this tank, and I'm just kind of deciding, you know, hey, what are my random green brothers in arms and maybe sisters in arms out there? What are they doing? So I don't want to run off to one end of the map all by myself. I like playing this side of the map with the forest for heavy tanks, well, for other tanks as well. Saw some friends coming along, so I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. But like I said, I'm a little nervous because, you know, I'm still getting to know this tank. I still am trying to figure out how much it can bounce, how much I can push the limits and that sort of thing. And you never know. Sometimes you just get a bad flip of the coin and everybody on the Reds coordinates and rushes you like a zombie horde, and they overwhelm you. In this particular tank, well, heck, any tank, but especially tanks like this, where he is not going to be fast and quick on his feet and all that kind of fun stuff. And he's only heavily armed on the front. He reminds me of kind of the Super Pershing in a lot of ways. You don't want to get people surrounding you. You start getting into a brawl. One-on-one, maybe you're going to come out bleeding, but maybe you can pull it off. But you really don't want to be brawling. You want to be in situations like this. Let other people use their eyes and light them up for you, and use support. Depending on who you're with and what map, etc., you can do a little bullying and push on the front like an assault style tank, but you know, it's risky. Here I am playing with the gun depression, jockeying for position, trying to figure out what the Reds are going to do. Not much to my left, so I feel kind of confident to squeeze around this side and take some cheap shots at this guy here. It's a tasty tier 9. Alright. Good times. Just trying to help out my my cousin there. Mr. Green Tiger 2. We're all family, we're on the greens, aren't we? Alright. Anything else I can clean up with? Just trying to help out. No, it's a fun tank, it really is. I'm biased, I love them all. Okay, 99% of the tanks, but this guy's pretty fun. Pretty fun. High fun factor. Now this is that T25/2 that I punched in the face at the very beginning of the round. Doesn't look like he's taken any other damage since then, except for just now. Now we're racing. Who's gonna get the last shot off this guy? We're racing, and you know, the reload time, the aiming, it's a really good tank. I'm really happy with it. Alright, so we've exhausted all the enemies on the east side, and we're looking at 530 meters. Is it a sniping tank? No, it is not, but okay. I'm okay with this tank. It's not bad. Now here you got the Super Pershing. And again, as we were talking about, from the side, he is very vulnerable. From the front, he has some pretty cool armor, but from that side, over 500 meters away, we're whittling him down. Well, looks like I'm not going to be getting the last hit on this guy. He's going to be cleaned up. It's too far away. Alright, good job, Greens. Good game. Woohoo! Alright, let's see what we got here. I consider that a pretty average game. You know, 80-ish, I think, is a nice middle number that you're going to be seeing with this particular tank, playing it like that. So with this particular tank, like I said, play it kind of in the middle, bully once in a while, depends on the situation. Get to know this tank. It can definitely pay off for you. I hope you guys really enjoyed this review. I got it done in 24 hours from the time I purchased it. If you liked it, please subscribe. Let me know. Wave at me. All right, I'll see you out there. Be safe.